that good? So, oh, that's nice. There's a bit of a light show going on. Good little tribute. Okay, so for just to clear up any confusion, Larry was not my grandfather, he was my uncle. And because
It wasn't my father, it was my grandfather.
because my father is Larry's brother, and my mother is Diane, and that's how we're all related. So, well, and then there's everybody else. Okay, so Larry was a person with unlimited energy. He was always ready to help with a calm demeanor and usually had off-the-wall explanations and theories on a number of subjects. My earliest memories of Larry are hearing him whistling away outside while he was working in the garden, while we were working in the garden or playing in the yard. The sound of the whistling would carry over everything. He was also, and he's down there, we're up there, that whistling was carrying quite a distance. Now I've lost my place. He was also a devout proponent of the 8-track cassette, and he had an extensive album collection. That probably stayed in use until the 1990s. When I moved into my house, kitty corner from Mary and Larry's, I would see him out in the orchard every morning with a bucket of softballs, getting some batting practice with their dog Lucky. This is Lucky 1, now that there's a new Lucky. With the dog Lucky retrieving the balls. More recently, I would hear him over at his shop most afternoons working on projects with the exact same collection of Bob Seger music playing every day. Eventually, Mary would sound a horn and call him in for dinner. He was always available, yes, for the phone. He was always available to help, like the time that he showed up at 4 in the morning to help us put out the out-of-control chimney fire from burning my dad's house down, or and I wanted to sort of ad-lib on that. At the time when that was going on, when Larry showed up, we were already in the process of working on it, and we were bringing buckets, 5-gallon buckets of water up, and Larry was dumping them slowly onto the place where the smoke was coming from, and my dad was kind of like, be careful, don't hurt the floor, and don't get the water everywhere, and Larry just kept doing it, and it was like, he wasn't going to enter into a discussion, he just kept doing it. Thank goodness, because the house didn't burn down. There was more to it too, but or the many times that he would be there to help my dad and sometimes me with various vehicle repairs. He was very dedicated to the events at the community center. He and Mary would be there setting up the extensive system that he devised for lighting on a Friday night. Then he would spend most of Saturday night running the lights, and they would be back on Sunday to clean up after. And then I wanted to expand a little on the light thing, because we had potentially entertained the thought of trying to string up the lights. And I went up into the attic and pulled out the banana boxes where all the lights were, and it was like, and there's one that's actually hanging off of the disco ball up there. And it was like, we're not going to get anywhere with this, so they've just been strung along the edges, and we will turn them on later. Most of the time that I would actually see Larry was related to baseball. He played on the Lee Creek Slow Pitch team from its inception in 1995 or 96 until about 2017. He and my dad also joined a senior slow pitch team a few years later, out of Sorrento, that he later coached for quite a few years, until their last season in 2019. It came as no surprise to us when he won the longest hit competition in our Scotch Creek League at around age 70. Larry was always making things and coming up with innovations, from high-powered electric fencing to keep the bears out of the orchards, to removing the muffler off of his lawnmowers to increase their power, And he did fly around the orchard at Mach speed. He became a master of rebar creations as well as other wrought iron tools. Larry was a legend in his own time, known by many and loved by all.